I have always been fascinated by the idea of living in a house with an attic. I'm not sure why, but I wanted to be different from everyone else with a basement. I wanted to convert the attic into a bedroom, which is why I specifically wanted a window in the attic. This may not seem important now, but remember it for later. One day, while I was scrolling through house listings, I heard my parents arguing. Despite the fact that they blamed me for ruining their marriage, I was a successful 28-year-old with a degree in civil engineering and a good amount of money in the bank. I was ready to buy a house. You may be wondering why I, a 28-year-old adult, still live with my parents. The reason is simple. I needed to save up a lot of money after getting my degree, and renting a place would have been a waste of money. Now that I have finally saved up enough, I am looking for a house to buy. Recently, I came across the perfect listing. It was not just perfect, but breathtakingly beautiful. As I looked at the pictures in the listing, I could tell that it was the one for me. The house I found was a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house with a beautiful kitchen and tall ceiling in the living room. It even had a small pool in the backyard. While all of that was great, what really caught my attention was the attic. It exceeded my expectations with its beige walls and mahogany floor. The window in the attic was the real highlight, with its beautiful glass art that cast colorful light onto the cozy window seat and parts of the floor. It was the perfect space I had been looking for. As I looked at the price for the house, I held my breath, hoping it was within my budget. I was confused when I saw that it was only $500,000. While that's not a lot for a house in a less prestigious area, this house was located in a very exclusive neighborhood, so the price seemed too good to be true. Excited by the low price, which was a third of my budget, I called the agent right away to set up a time to see the house. She agreed and told me we could go see it right away. As soon as I got in my car, I headed to the location of the house I was interested in. When I pulled up next to the agent's car, which was parked in front of the house, I was impressed by how beautiful the house looked in person. It was even better than the listing had suggested. The agent took me inside and was very pleasant and nice, explaining every detail of the house to me. She mentioned that the house came unfurnished. Despite having an unsettling feeling and the fact that the agent didn't show me the attic, I decided to buy the house on the spot. After a few weeks of buying furniture and moving into my new house, I was finally ready to unbox everything and start making it my own. My first stop was the attic, which I had been looking forward to exploring. However, when I used the key to unlock the door to the attic, I was surprised to find that it was already furnished. I remember the agent telling me explicitly that the whole house came unfurnished, so this was a bit strange. As I walked into the attic, I could feel the unsettling feeling growing inside me. The walls and floor looked exactly as they had in the pictures, but the window was slightly ajar and the color seemed off, even though the pattern was the same. Overall, the whole situation was very odd and left me feeling uneasy. In the middle of the attic, I found a large king-size bed with red silk sheets and 4 bedposts that held up a sheer canopy. The wood of the bed looked old and worn, but the bed itself was beautiful. On the left wall, there was an old dresser that matched the wood of the bed, and on the right wall, there was a chest of drawers with an old television that required cassettes. The antenna on the television looked worn out and unusable. In front of the bed, on the wall next to the door, stood a big floor-length mirror with the word Ledger engraved on the top. I had always disliked mirrors in front of beds, as the superstitious beliefs my mother had instilled in me had never left me. I went over to the chest of drawers and began looking around, and as I searched for the cord to the television, a neatly folded envelope fell to the floor. I bent down to pick it up, my curiosity getting the best of me. I sat on the window seat and opened the envelope, despite knowing that it wasn't mine. I quickly weighed the ethics of reading someone else's letter, but then I remembered that whoever this belonged to had left it behind and it was now my property. It would take too long to explain exactly what the letter said, so I'll summarize. Dear reader, if you are reading this letter, it is important that you listen to me and follow my instructions. I want to emphasize that I am not joking or being silly. This is a serious letter. My name is Marie, and as I write this, I realize that it is too late for me, but I may be able to save you. As I read the letter, I realized that I had also suspected that something was off about this house when I saw the listing. The steep price had allured me even more, but I should have followed my instincts. You may be thinking the same thing right now. The letter outlined a specific set of rules that I needed to follow if I wanted to live peacefully in the house. Failure to follow these rules would result in either leaving the house or death, the latter being more likely. The letter emphasized that the rules with just numbers next to them should be followed no matter the consequence. The rules with uppercase letters next to the numbers were important, but should not be prioritized over the numbered rules in case of emergency. Finally, the rules with lowercase letters in front of the numbers were lies and should not be followed. Rule 1. The pool in the backyard is not accessible on Fridays between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m. After that, you can only use the pool if the color of the water is blue. If the water is not blue, you should go inside and lock yourself in the second floor bathroom. Do not come out under any circumstances until 12 a.m. Make sure to check the water of the pool at exactly 10:01 p.m. unless you are in the bathroom or bedroom at the time. Rule 1A. Cover all of the mirrors in the house. They attract negative things and you don't want negativity in your life. Rule 1A. Absolutely avoid the sounds coming from the pool on Fridays between the same hours mentioned before. Do not go out to check, do not look, and act as if everything is normal, no matter what sounds you may hear. Do not check the pool until 10:01 p.m. If you do the opposite, even by mistake, refer to Rule 7. Rule 2. At exactly 12:30 a.m., go to the bedroom and lock yourself in. No matter what you are doing, remember to follow this step. Rule 3. Avoid having guests over. It's always tricky and they never follow the rules. You don't want to part with someone who means something to you just because they were too foolish to follow the rules. Rule 3a. Open the front door at 3 a.m. Rule 4. Never go anywhere near the front of the house or outside of your room after 12:30 a.m. unless you need to go to the bathroom. If you need to use the bathroom, make sure you only stay for exactly 15 minutes. Anything more and you won't like the consequences. Rule 4a. If she has caught you, refer to Rule 7. Rule 5. On Fridays, never roam near the windows that look out at the pool between the hours of 6 and 10 p.m. If you do, turn around and, no matter what you have seen, pray for at least 5 minutes, even if you aren't religious. If, by the time you are done praying, you hear 3 taps on the glass of the previously mentioned windows, refer to Rule 7. If not, you are free. Don't look back and go to the second floor bathroom and lock yourself in. Rule 5a. All of these rules only apply on Fridays. On other days, you are safe. Rule 6. Do not go into the attic. If you do, check the color of the window art. If it is different from the listing, you are safe. If it is not, refer to Rule 7. The attic is off limits because it is where she sleeps. If you don't see her, it means you are safe. Rule 7a. If you have had to refer to this rule, it is already too late. Take the revolver that will appear in your hand and shoot yourself straight in the head. If you don't, you will face a much more gruesome fate. Rule 7. If you have had to refer to this rule, there is only one option left. Take the revolver that will appear in your hand, no matter where you are. If she has caught you, shoot her straight in the heart. If she disappears, congratulations, you have survived. However, if she does not, your fate will be a very painful death. Rule 8. If you look in the mirror in the attic, bad luck will follow you for exactly 4 hours. Those are all the rules. I have no time left, so I am leaving this letter on the kitchen counter. If you have found it anywhere else, run. Leave everything behind and run as far as you can. Good luck, Marie Black. As I read the letter, tears welled up in my eyes. I realized that I would rather be safe than sorry, so I did as the letter instructed and ran as fast as I could. As I was running down the stairs, I felt something grab me and I couldn't move. I was paralyzed with fear as I looked up and saw a woman with disheveled long blonde hair covered in red stain marks. Her throat was a deep purple, indicating that she had suffocated. Her whole body was drenched as she latched onto me with ungodly strength. I felt something in my hand and looked down to see a revolver appear. With my best prayers, I put the gun to my head and remembered something. Marie had written not to trust the lowercase letters. So I turned the gun and shot the woman in the heart, and to my relief, she disappeared. I ran as far away from the house as I could, regretting my decision to buy it. When I called the police and explained the situation, they told me not to waste their time with stupid paranormal bullshit and hung up. I called my agent and explained the situation to her. She came right away and, after looking at me with an unreadable expression, handed me a folder and drove off. As I opened the folder, alone in the middle of the street, I was shocked by what I found. The folder contained information about the past occupants of the house and its history. What I didn't expect to find were multiple murder cases attached to the documents in the folder. As I read over one of the cases, an unsolved murder, the name at the top of the page shocked me. It was the same name as the woman who had written the letter, Marie Black. I felt goosebumps rise on my skin as I flipped to the next document and immediately recognized the picture. There was a printed picture of a woman with blonde hair that I didn't recognize at first. But as I looked at the pictures of the autopsy, I realized who it was. The page described a first-degree murder with pictures of a woman with blonde hair and blue marks on her neck. The description read, Jane Ledger, 35, was found at 10:01 p.m. drowned to death in the pool of the backyard of the Ledger household. Her abuser and husband was found dead on the stairs of the house with a revolver in his hand. My blood ran cold as I pieced all of the information together. I was so focused on the documents that I didn't realize a car was coming right at me until it was too late and everything went black. Thanks for watching. Please hit the like button if you like this scary story and subscribe if you'd like to see more.